Howdy guys, welcome back to Fran Chapter 2. Picking up from the last episode, we got the door finished, we put it on the side of the well, went through the door, and now we're in this fancy looking house. And this is where the game starts to get a little bit more difficult. The puzzles are trickier, there's going to be way more items. In fact, I think at one point there's going to be about 15 items in our inventory, which is way more than we're used to. What is this, a hat? Mr. Midnight? Oh no, your head, kitty. It's not actually Mr. Midnight. Wait just a second, this is not my kitty. So, like I said, a lot of items, and what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to focus on getting the items first, just to get them out of the way. But you don't have to go in any particular order. In fact, this first item, baking soda, we're not going to need this until the final puzzle. But it's nice to get it out of the way, so we'll grab it now, and then definitely grab the knife. That should be the first thing you grab in a game like this. And I don't think there's anything else on this shelf. Let me just double check. Okay. Get this pot as well. We're going to need that for a future puzzle. But not for a while. And then in this room, I think there's some more stuff to grab. Let me take a look at this shelf. Get the salt. Good, good, good. Get the pepper. And then take a look in this little drawer too, and there's this weird looking seed, but we do need this as well. Well, pretty much everything you grab we're going to need, except for one item, which I think is the next item we're going to grab. Okay, get the matches. Good. Go in this room over here, and there's going to be... what is in this room? Couple things to take note of. First, look at this picture. This is actually the house we're in right now, and it's completely surrounded by water, so there is no escape for the time being. Also, take a look at this vase, and it's going to say a vase to put flowers in it. It has ashes inside. That is going to be an item we need. And if you talk to this cake, it says, cake, my favorite, should I? Maybe just a little. Delicious. And Franny actually takes a bite of it right here. That's actually not important to any of the puzzles. I just thought I would talk about it. Next thing to do, go upstairs and take a look at this broom. Now this broom, you never have to pick it up. It kind of leads to a dead end on one of the puzzles, which I will talk about more in depth once we get there. Go over to the bedroom, and I think for the time being there's just going to be one item to grab. That is going to be these tweezers right here. And anything else to talk about? No. Oh, one more thing to talk about. Keep in mind there's this little keyhole on top of the mirror, and it says, I wonder if there's a key for this one. And if you talk to the mirror, it says the mirror doesn't work. But I guess that's not that important. So, next thing to do, I guess we could take a look in the attic right now. You don't have to go in any particular order. Same for most of the chapters in this game, if not all of them. Once you get to the attic, if you try to look around, it says, I won't touch anything until I can see what it is. So that's a pretty good indication to turn the lights on, and now we can see everything that's up here. And pretty much everything up here has dialogue. What I mean is when you talk to it, it says some stuff. But the only thing important, I think, is the... what is in this crib? Oh, yeah, this terrifying looking thing. Listen to this. I am so sorry you had to hear that. That is just awful. We actually never do anything with that. But talk to this cage right here. Says, Mr. Midnight, are you here? Kitty, meow. And yeah, it is actually Mr. Midnight. That is him in the cage. It's you. Oh my goodness, my beloved friend, I found you. Fran, is that really you? Oh, by the way, I guess he could talk in real life too. Let me see you. Oh, Fran, I'm so happy to see you. I missed you very much. I had dreams about you. And here you are. Thank you for not giving up. I love you, my friend. I love you too, Mr. Midnight. And I really missed you. Oh, dear Fran, how did you find this place? After those people took you away in the woods, I tried to follow them, but after a while I got lost. My senses were too weak to track you. I tried to catch some food to recover, but he's actually referencing the rat. Back to the previous video. Same chapter, but the previous video I did. Something happened. Somebody took me and put me in this cage. I will open the cage. We need to get to Aunt Grace. Fran, I'm very tired. I wish everything was just a bad dream. So let's make him feel a little better. Make him feel a little bit better right here and say it's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. We just have to get out of here. Fran, can I ask you something? Sure. Did you feel my presence in your dream? So this part's pretty interesting. Back at the first episode, we had those dreams where Mr. Midnight, our cat, said to take those pills. So let's say, yes, I did. You told me to take the medicine and find you. What medicine, Fran? It really wasn't me talking to you. So it wasn't the cat. It was somebody else, I guess, just pretending to be Mr. Midnight. I think somebody was helping us together. Every time I had dreams about you, I felt the presence of something else. Really? What kind of presence? For what I felt, it wasn't human, but it was really peaceful and kind. That's the real magic. Great to have somebody else taking care of us. Fran, did you hear that? Did you... Oh, I'll see what it is. I'll try to find the key and unlock you, all right? I love you. Okay, so new objective. Find the key, unlock Mr. Midnight, and get the hell out of here. Next thing to do, let me see. There's still a room I have yet to show. But before that, there's these girls right here. And I haven't talked about it yet, but there's actually pictures of them all over the house. Oh, you scared me. I thought nobody was living here. There you are. We were waiting for you. Where is your head? My head? My head is just right. My head is just in the right place. You, the precious being from the other world. Who would ever believe us? What are you saying? Sorry, but I can't make sense of what you're saying. Franbo, that's your name, right? And your mom and dad died tragically. Very brutal, right? And now you really want to know who killed them, right? Let's say, how do you know? We just know. We have to. We are part of this world. But don't be sad. Bad things happen to all of us, all the time. I wish I was at home with mommy and daddy now. Don't wish for things that can't be done. Find solutions and answers. Okay, there's quite a bit of dialogue in this one, but I'll try to get through this fast. So let's say they won't come back. Drink some tea, eat some cake. It will make you feel better. Let's ask her, who told you about us? Thank you, but really I need to know, who told you these things about me? Are you scared, little Fran? Of course not. I'm just curious, that's all. I'm mostly confused. You haven't asked about your cat yet, Mr. Midnight. That's very odd for a girl who loves her cat more than anything else in this world. And yet, you look so calm after finding him in a cage, hungry and scared. Shouldn't it be us trembling in fear of you? Let's say I'm not calm. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm not a rude person. You want him back? Yeah, unlock the cage. He is hungry and thirsty, please. Before we set him free, tell us about how it is that you came here. So I'm kind of going to breeze through this pretty fast, just to save a little bit of time because this second part is a little bit longer. But right here, Fran is just talking about everything that's happened up to this point. She kind of goes through the story of her escaping, all the stuff she's come across in the forest, the door, what else? The pine cones. Don't forget the pine cones. That was before I came here. They live in Antonio's house. They like berries. Okay. Okay, so after all of this dialogue, she is going to say, that was some adventure. How old are you, Fran? We already know she's 10 years old. We saw that on the board back at the hospital. So let's go ahead and tell her, 10 years old, but I turn 11 soon. And you? We are 16 years old, much older than you, so you have to obey us. I don't want to obey you. You can't tell me what to do. You haven't even asked our names. That's not polite. And you shouldn't wander around the house without permission. Are you stupid? A stupid little girl with no family at all. Hey, I am not stupid. And I do have a family, and Grace, and my kitten. Are you crying? Because if you are, you'll get in trouble. If you don't do exactly as we say, you and your cat will die. So this two-headed girl is actually the bad guy. But let's go ahead and say, you don't scare me. Free my cat now. You idiot. You asked for it. If you don't do what we ask for, bad things will happen to your cat. We will force you to kill him with your own hands. So let's go ahead and call this girl Evil right here. You are evil and poisoned, but I'll do whatever you say. Yeah, we're kind of in a checkmate right here. She has our cat in a cage, and she needs us to do some stuff. So right here it says, good, now listen to us carefully. We need you to perform a little magic trick on us. Do you like magic? Let's say magic is magical. Who does not like magic? Anyway, this magic is very powerful. It's tremendous and dangerous. Here's the recipe. Be cautious and precise. Otherwise, terrible things can happen. This is the recipe that they want us to get. They want us to get all the ingredients and cast this spell on them. But let's ask them, why not do it yourselves? We can't do it. It would kill us. You see, we weren't like this before. We used to be two different people in two different bodies. But how is it that you're like this now? One night, a long time ago, something appeared in front of us. We thought it was an angel, but it was not. He decided that we should spend eternity together. He cursed us to be like this. We never understood why. We have a spell to bring him back. But we will do that later, when we are not attached to each other anymore, and show him that he is powerless and he will regret it. I'll try my best. We are going to gather some things you will need for the ritual, and because you have been very nutty girl, you won't even be able to see your cat. You'll have to wait until we come back. So if you say, let me talk to him, they just say no. I'm just going to say, I understand, to cut some of that dialogue. Okay, again, a lot of dialogue, but now we can proceed with some of the other puzzles. I also forgot to mention, if you use your pills in any of these maps in this house, it always leads you to this map right here. Kind of looks like the bottom of a well with some other stuff to do, but we're not quite there yet. So let's go back to just normal mode and go ahead and proceed to the left. I have yet to show off this room. As of now, there's nothing to do here. If you try to go up these stairs, it just says the stairs end in a wall, and there is a girl missing her head and cut in half. And Fran says, oh my goodness, the smell. Okay. And if you talk to this record player, oh, here it is. Jazz hands. There was some of that jazz hand stuff at the beginning of chapter 2. But that is irrelevant. Next thing to do, okay. Go back into the kitchen. And I think there's going to be some new stuff unlocked. Yeah, here we go. Take a look at this guy in the window. That actually does serve a good purpose because that window was locked before. We never had access to go outside. But now that he's opened it, there's a couple things to do out here. First and foremost is grab this wooden plank. It's hard to see. It really is. It kind of blends in with the dock. But you are definitely going to need that. And we can talk to the toad too, see what he has to say. Hey, you. Yes, who's speaking? Me, I'm a toad. I have to tell you something. What is it? You're in great danger. Don't trust the girls. Why do you say that? Look, girl, I'm a toad, and I know I can swim away from this place, but they won't let me. Every time I try to get out of here, I magically come back. This house is like a huge magnet. A toad and cat magnet. They love us, but not to give us love. Just to use us. Don't trust them. So let's say that's terrible. That's why my kitty is here then. They gave you a recipe for some kind of magic, right? Yes, they did. Did you see the dead girl in one of the rooms? Well, that can be you if you're not. That can be you if you try to do it. She tried, but she did it wrong. I'll think of something. I'm not a clever toad, but if I were you, I would be creative. Creative. I'll try to do my best. And girl, please save us all. I really want to get out of here. You and me both. If you use the pills out here, it does lead to a different scene. And you can talk to the ghost girl. She says, my sister is trying to catch me, but I ran away. I'm scared. Would you help me? And I have a monster inside my head. Okay. Also, the well says doubters need the truth on paper. Go back inside, and now we have everything we need to go back into the bottom of the well. Now, like I said, You can grab that broom, and you can try to use it right here. If you do try to use it right here, it just breaks in half when you try to walk across it. And nothing really happens. It doesn't set you back. It just makes you fall to the bottom of the well. So don't use it. But if you never use it and you have it in your inventory, it never does anything. It's just kind of a dead end. And then when you get to chapter 3, it just disappears from your inventory. So kind of a useless item just to throw you off, but I mean, that's nice. I guess not every item you find is going to have a use to it, which makes sense. Now that we're here, if you talk to the rope, it says, I can't lift it, it's too heavy for me. So what you want to do is just cut it with your knife. Cut that down, go back to the bottom, see what's in the bottle. And you actually don't have to climb all the stairs. You could jump off right here to save some time. Once you go to talk to the bottle, though, a frickin' toad pops up and eats it. Then it immediately kills him. And look how big this toad is. And if you try to talk to the bottle, it just says, that burned. Why? There is no fire. It's pretty obvious what to do here. Just use the tweezers on it. And that's going to get you another scroll with a spell on it. And I don't think I talked about it yet, but this is the spell that the girls gave us. Let me examine it. And it's just the recipe that they want you to cast on them to split them apart. Heart of a frog, head of a young virgin, so on and so forth. We are not going to cast this spell. This paper we just got is the correct spell that we need to cast. Examine that. And this is actually where our green crayon comes in handy. We still have it in our inventory back from the hospital. And every time you have one of them, she automatically crosses it off. So we need blood from the executor of the ritual, which is going to be blood from Franny. Next, we need 5 black candles. I forgot to grab those. They're back upstairs, which I'll go get after this. Ashes to form the pentagram. We got that in front of the fireplace. A blue bloomed moonlight rose, which we can get right now. Let me get that really quick. Use the seed, put it in the moonlight right here, and that's going to make it grow a blue flower. Talk to it. That's going to give you the item. And just to look at the list one more time, I think there's one more item to grab. Examine. That's going to be hair from the person you want to bewitch. This is the hard one. This is where I got stuck. But before we do that, let me just run upstairs and grab those candles. I've got to say, too, Chapter 2, I've played Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Well, most of Chapter 3, I have yet to get to the end of it. But so far, the second half of Chapter 2 is my favorite, hands down. It is so cool. And it's not as horror-based as Chapter 1, but it's still my favorite by far. And horror games, they're not really my type of games anyways. They're not my favorite type of games. But I do like horror games in the fact that they're more unpredictable. And what I mean by that is if you're playing a normal game, it's always a predictable ending. You're going to save the day. Happy ending. Everybody lives happily ever after. That's not the case with horror games. It's very unpredictable. Anyways, enough about that. Open the drawer, get the candles. Perfect. So now, taking a look at our list, all we're missing is the hair from the person you want to bewitch. And this is where I got stuck. It's obviously the hair from the 2 girls. But if you look all around the house, she is nowhere to be seen. What you actually have to do is, if you take a look in this room, there's a typewriter right here. You have to use the scroll that they gave them, or the parchment. You have to use it on the typewriter and add another step. It's a really clever puzzle. I would have never thought to do that. I mean, I eventually stumbled across it, but it makes perfect sense. Step 6 is now hair from your head. And now that that's done, let's go back into the kitchen. And I think the girls pop up right here. They would not have popped up if you had not done that with the typewriter. Fran, here are the materials you need. Have you studied the ritual? Yeah, but I'll need more time. I can't remember all the words. Well, learn them fast. Let us know when you are ready. They walk over to the dining room, so... Oh, before that. Psst, girl. I think you need help getting rid of this bag. I can do that for you. Right here, it's actually pretty interesting they added this in the game. It makes much more sense that this frog comes and takes away these items. These are all the items that they need for their ritual. The virgin head, the frog, the cat, it's all in the bag. And if the frog had not taken these items, I think the girls would have noticed that it was still there on the counter. Or that, I don't know, it kind of makes sense. Go back into the dining room, talk to the girls, and we are waiting for you, Fran. Oh, don't do that. Go to your inventory and use the scroll that you changed that they gave you. And Fran says, look, ladies, there is something missing. I couldn't find your hair in the bag. And they say, hair, you say? There is no hair needed. We know that. And right here, there's two options. I think they both lead to the same thing. But just say, you must have forgotten. You said I had to follow this recipe very strictly. That's true. How could we miss that? All right. Now, get prepared. Okay, now we have everything. No, we don't. We're still missing something. Go to your bag, and it said that you need the blood of the executor of the ritual. So just use the knife on Fran. And look at poor little Franny cutting her hand open. But that gives you blood. And look at all the items in our inventory. This is a lot of stuff. But now we have everything we need. Go back to the kitchen, and we need to fill up that pot with water. Just turn the sink on and then use the pot on the water, and that's going to fill it up. Okay. Go back to the right side of the kitchen and light the stove on fire with the matches. So use those, use them on the stove, and then the next thing to do is just put the pot on top of the stove. Oh, I think I went through the dialogue too fast. Let me do that again. It's quite windy in here. Oh, yeah, close the window first. It's too windy. So close the window and then use the matches on the stove. Now that it's lit, use the pot, put it on top, and then just start adding the ingredients. You don't have to go in any particular order. Just add the rose, add the blood, add the hair, and I think that's everything. Oh, no, add the salt and pepper too. I guess for flavor. And then, now that that's done, if you read the scroll, well, let me read through it really quick. At the bottom it says, draw a pentagram with the ashes inside the black and white squares. Put a light and black candle on every point of the pentagram, fill a cauldron with water, and put the other elements in it. Boil. Pour over the person you want to bewitch, and repeat these words when you walk around the pentagram. What you have to do is just follow those steps, but it says black and white squares. And that's going to be these squares right here. You see they're kind of miscolored. Open up your inventory, grab the ashes, use it on the squares. And that's going to make the pentagram. Next step, use the candles. And then after that, just light them on fire. There we go. And I think we're all set. And now the potion is done. By the way, this exterminator ticket, it stays in your inventory all through chapter 3. I have still yet to use this stupid ticket. But maybe it's at the end of chapter 3 or something. Go back to the dining room. And let me turn the sink off. I'm wasting water there. I don't think it actually matters. You can keep the sink on. Talk to the girls, see what they have to say. They're going to say, everything is ready. Let's go to the kitchen. Cool. Excuse me. Good. Let's go. Okay. We are ready. We have everything we need. Again, it was a lot of stuff to do. But we have finally made it here. Sit down and close your eyes, ladies. Once they're sitting down, just go in your inventory, grab the cauldron, and pour it on top of them. Now, it's kind of weird that Fran does that right there, because the other ritual, it does say to drink it, I think. I would check that, but I've already given them the ritual. But I'm surprised they didn't get suspicious when Fran dumped that potion on top of them right there. They do, however, get suspicious right here when Fran starts chanting and walking around them. They say, wait a second. It's not the right spell. You tricked us. But it's too late for them. It is definitely too late. And that is going to be the end of the girls. Poor little Franny right here. She actually thinks she killed them. There's more dialogue on that later in the game. But as far as I know, they were already dead. So now we have the key, and we are making good progress. Once you have the key, go back to Mr. Midnight, and... Wait a second, am I missing anything? I don't think so. Go upstairs and talk to Mr. Midnight in the cage with the key. Okay. If you also try to go up here when you were doing all the puzzle items, they had locked it, and you were not able to go back up here until you finish the scene with the girls. Use the key on the cage, and it says... What is it, Fran? Open the cage. I can't. The key does not fit. Did you see another keyhole somewhere? I think I brought this up. There's a keyhole on top of the mirror. Yeah, I saw one. Let's see if it fits there. I'll be waiting. Hurry up. Okay. So the next thing to do... I was going to do 3 videos. This recording is actually kind of getting pretty long, but I just want to keep playing. I'll try to make this all in one recording. Use the key right up here, and this is going to be the sliding puzzle. The horrible sliding puzzle. The most horrific thing in the game up to this point. I'm just kidding. It's actually not that bad. I practiced this puzzle a little bit, and once you practice it, it's actually not too bad. There's plenty of ways to solve it, but the way I'm going to show is, I think, the most efficient, not the efficient way, but the easiest way to explain for me. And what I'll do is, just so I can focus, I'm not going to talk through this, so let me just explain it really quick. What you want to do is you want to get this spinning cog connected with all the other cogs and get this final cog to spin. And the only cog that's going to work with this cog spinning is this smaller cog right up here. And that's actually the first cog you want to move around. After that, you want to get this bigger cog right next to it in this spot, just to get it out of the way in the meantime. And then also move this top right cog to this spot right here. And these 3 cogs that all look the same, they want to be aligned in these 3 spots. It doesn't matter which order it's in, but it's good to have this first one in the middle, just so you have all this room to go around all the cogs, if that makes sense. Because if there's a cog in the way of a way you want to move a cog, you're going to have to move it out of the way to get around it, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but if you're stuck with this puzzle, just do what I do. With that being said, let me focus here for a second, and let me get this puzzle done really quick. Okay, so yeah, there's a much faster way to do that, and I did mess it up a little bit, but that's just the gist of it. And that's the way that worked the best for me. So, next thing to do, this mirror shatters. There's 2 skeletons in there. Just talk to the skeleton, or the little shelf above the skeletons, and then the note's going to say, Sister Promise, we, Claire, and Mia. You know what? I don't have to read this. You can read it if you want to, but it's not important for the rest of the puzzles. Just grab the key, and then also take note that they have some duotine up here on their little cupboard. That was the... Oh, no, do not do that. Do not do that. X, and use the eyeball to get out of there. But now we have the key to unlock the cage that Mr. Midnight is in. And this is going to be the right key. Use that, unlock the cage, and now we get Mr. Midnight back. And I actually thought that I wasn't going to get the cat back until, like, the last chapter. But we actually get him back right here. Which is actually pretty nice for Fran. Oh, this feels so good. I'm free, Fran, my good friend. Time to go home. Yes, let's go. All right, let's get the hell out of here now. And this part too, I got a little bit stuck on this part. What you have to do is go talk to the toad. But he says that he can't help you leave this island. Let me just talk to him really quick and get through this dialogue. I did it, Sir Toad. The girls are gone. That is perfect. Now I can leave this place and go to my family. I want to do that too, sir. I finally found my kitty. I just want to go home and be with Aunt Grace. But how will you get out of here? There is no boat. So let's say, help us out of here. I would love to help you, but I'm too tiny. Even though my body is quite moldable, I think this is probably the biggest hint on what to do. But it's one of the lesser logical puzzles in this game. Everything usually makes really good sense in this game as far as puzzles go. But this one can be a little bit confusing. It's actually pretty obvious. It's like the last item. But what I did is I went through the house looking for some kind of boat. Just use the baking soda on the frog. That's going to make him grow. Take this, Toad. It may help. I'm not a bakery bun. But you're all slimy and soft like dough. You're right, it may work. Here it goes. And yeah, sure enough. He gets big enough for us to ride him back to the shore. It worked, it really did. I'm so big and I feel gorgeous. Great, let's go. Come on, Mr. Midnight. Sure, Fran, I only have one complaint. The giant toad is staring at me. What are you talking about? He wants to help us, that's all. Alright, if he tries anything, I will scratch him. That's okay, but try not to hurt him so much that while we're sitting on him. The water is deep, and we don't know what kind of creatures are in there. If we fall in the water, we could die, kitty. Oh, I promise I won't scratch the toad. Let's go. Hey, girl, before we go, I forgot to give you something. I saw you in this picture, so I thought it was yours. And we actually get our picture back of our family, which we had lost at the beginning of this chapter. And we also get this book right here, which, since this video is already getting pretty lengthy, I will not talk about until the next video. Oh, Toad, you found my family photo. Thank you very much. I thought I had lost it forever, but the book is not mine. Oh well, take the book as a gift. It's always healthy to read. It has many pictures. Wow, thank you. I like pictures. Well, let's go now. Yes, here we go. Hold on tight. Look at this. I love this picture. This has to be the thumbnail. It's so good. So yeah, we just ride the toad back to the shore. Oh, the minigame! I forgot about the minigame. This is so good. It's kind of like Frogger. There's only 3 maps. It's not that long, but it is pretty cool that they did that. Remember back to chapter 1, the end of chapter 1, you had to do that little maze run. But this one is much more entertaining. Nice, nice, nice. If you actually fall in the water, you don't have to go back to the way beginning, just the beginning of the map. So this is the second one, and let me just focus here for a second. Good. I'll wait to get on that log. So let's jump on this lily pad. Hopefully a log comes around. Come on, come on, come on. All right, let's get on that. And let's not get on the flower yet. Let's wait one more. And there we go. Perfect. And we have one more map to go. Okay. I think this one could be a little bit trickier. Just pay attention and make sure not to go too early or too late. I probably should have got on that one, but that's fine. I can wait till the next one. Yeah, right here. And let's do that. Oh, maybe I should have got on that one. Oh, come on, come on. Okay, that's fine. So we just got to start over this map. I'll try to time that a little bit better this time. Let me wait for the next one. Look at Fran too on the back of the frog. It's such different artwork. It's almost like what do you call it? Like claymation. That's kind of what it looks like. Okay, we are done with the Frogger scene. And now we're wrapping up on Chapter 2. How am I looking on time here? Here we are. Jump off me now. Let's go, kitty. Well, now it's time to go home. I hope you find your family soon, Sir Toad. Thank you. You too. Farewell. Goodbye, sir, and thank you for the ride. Fran, what should we do now? Find the way back home, kitty. Do you see the sky? It's dawn, and really soon all the scary things will disappear. Ah, I'm so hungry and sleepy. I want to go home now. Me too, kitty. We'll find the way. I'll do my best to help you, my dear. Let's go. All right, that is it for Chapter 2. Again, Chapter 2 is hands down my favorite chapter. I have yet to play Chapter 4 and 5, but I have played Chapter 3, which I like Chapter 3 a lot too, but just to warn you with Chapter 3, it is so much backtracking back and forth. There's so much stuff to do. It's going to be very difficult to record for just because of all the backtracking. So what I think I'm going to do for Chapter 3 is just do like a speed run of it as fast as possible, and then I'll do post-commentary over it. Or maybe so, I don't know yet. I got to think about it. But there's going to be a lot of stuff to do. So anyways, I'll let these final scenes play out. But if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.